Baseball and trading. Hitting a round ball with a round bat and hitting it squarely. It's an incredible feeling when I hit the ball in that sweet spot. Just think of a baby that's crying for food. When that baby gets her bottle, the first thing you hear is that ah sound. Oh man, that ah sound. When I hit the ball perfectly, I get that ah. How about getting that home run trade? You know the one. The one you knock out of the park every once in a while? Most of us feel it's not often enough, right? Baseball and trading really have a lot in common if you really think about it. When you hit the sweet spot in that trade, you get that incredible feeling. I call it contentment at a high level. I played baseball all the time when I was a kid. Some of my favorite memories were from the diamond. I remember one time when I was almost hit by a pitch while playing at my Little League. I ducked out of the way and the ball hit my bat anyway, and it was a strike. Man, was I pissed. The next pitch went screaming over the left field wall and was one of the longest home runs ever at that ballpark. I rounded the bases in full view of my mother, who was sitting at every single game. I felt a sort of redemption as I looked at the pitcher. It was a special moment for me that I still remember to this day. When I hit a game-ending single in another game, that was actually my second hit of the game off a star pitcher. I still remember his name, George Nix. I felt like I'd made the grade, and that was awesome. Don't you crave that feeling when you're trading? Have you ever had a click error when you're trading? Just like I did when I ducked out of the way of that pitch and it hit my bat anyway. You make a click error and you feel so stupid for doing it, right? You get out and select another entry and get back and gain a nice profit, right? Oh man, what a wonderful feeling. It's almost like you got back at the market, right? You know, that sweet spot is wonderful. I'm amazed by people like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and so on, and all their accomplishments in their careers. I look at old film footage and I read about either the Babe or Larry and Lou, and I always feel awed by the big numbers they put up on the board. From home runs to RBIs to batting averages and runs scored, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig achieved them over and over again. When I first started trading, I would marvel at stories of traders that would make $5,000 or so more in a trade. They were able to trade with confidence, and they seemed unfazed if they lost a trade. They would just get back up and reevaluate the trade again. It's a sort of battle-hardened confidence, I guess you can call it, that can only come from practice, education, time, and lots of trading, and most of all, the desire and belief in yourself. There's a saying that luck is when opportunity and preparation meet. That can also be said by trading and baseball. Stories tell the story. If you haven't guessed by now, the Yankees are my favorite team. I like the story of Mickey Mantle when he tells of his first time when he's just joined the Yankees. He wasn't hitting very well, actually, and they were thinking about setting him down. His confidence was dwindling. After days of desperation, he called his father when he was playing near Oklahoma. Mickey Mantle was hoping that his father would give him a pep talk. But when Mickey got to the hotel room where his father and the New York Yankees were staying, his father didn't give him a pep talk. He did the opposite. Mickey's father told Mickey he was there to pick him up and take him home. He said that he didn't know he raised a quitter. Mickey got the message and he started to hit the ball right after his father left. He attributes that meeting with his father as his turning point in his career. I've heard Mickey tell that story a few times in tape and live. Whenever I hear him tell it, I'm moved by Mickey's love for his father. I want to cover now overcoming fear. When I was in Little League, about maybe 8 to 10 years old, the biggest lesson I learned was confidence. You see, most kids that age are afraid of the pitch when they're at bat. They're afraid of getting hit, so they clench up and react to the pitch instead of attacking the pitch. It's true that pitching control of youngsters is not that great, so getting hit is a little more prevalent than playing with older kids, but it only hurts for just a minute, right? Ouch. Keep it short and sweet. You're closer to the plate than you think, so keeping your hands inside and let the bat do the work. Step, turn your hips, While keeping your hands back, power is loaded and transferred through the core, and then whammo, let it all go at once. Don't be timid about swinging at the ball. Just swing. Remember to believe in yourself, and you can hit anything. And it doesn't matter how well it's driven each time either. The point of the matter is putting that bat on the ball, period. I learned that when I was batting, that I would need to be proactive and not reactive. I would say to myself, come on, throw it. I'm going to knock the you-know-what out of the ball rather than, God, I hope I don't get hit by the pitch. Don't we always think like that in trading? Oh, no, I hope I don't lose some money, right? That's like, I hope I don't get hit with the pitch, rather than, I'm going to hit the heck out of the ball, right? Or I'm going to make this trade work. Work in the market is similar in that you have to work the plan. Yes, you can't let fear of loss control your trading. It will always be there, but as your confidence increases through practice, the fear becomes less, and you don't worry about the loss because you can limit the damage through options, strategies. You did your homework, right? Position sizing, and many other methods. You also have the knowledge that if you limit the damage to small amounts, you can get more hits over time, even those doubles, triples, and home runs, and give yourself a chance to get those bigger hits. Remember that even Babe Ruth struck out 1,330 times, yet he's considered the most feared hitter of all time. Isn't that amazing? 1,330 times, yes, he's considered the most feared hitter of all time. You want to strengthen your weaknesses. I was listening to Tom Busby, who's the president and owner of DTI Trader. I was in one of his live trading rooms, and he tells a story about when he was coaching a baseball team, because Tom had played pitcher and third base when he was younger. So Tom had been a player back in the day, so he understands strategy. Now, in case you don't know, there's 9 players in a batting lineup. Normally, managers stack the lineup with the best hitters in positions 1 through 6, and then the people in 7, 8, or 9 are not quite as talented as far as hitting goes anyway. The pitcher on the other team knows that. Maybe they have a breather during that time and they can have a little bit of a break. Tom realized that if he could strengthen those 3 positions even a little bit, he could change the balance of the order. Now, over an entire game, he would wear down the other team and the percentages would be skewed in his favor. Tom is one of the most successful traders I've ever seen. He relates that one aspect of trading in that you want to strengthen your weak aspects of trading. Even slight improvements over time will make drastic increases in your P&L over time. What are your weak spots? Position sizing, options, futures, overcoming stress or fear. Most of this comes through time and proper education, so you can stay in the game long enough to have it all come together. Again, I said stay in the game long enough to have it all work for you, because many people don't do that. They don't get the education, and they go out and wing it, and then they blow their account out. Be selective with the pitches, right? It's called patience. Generally, when batting, you want a parallel stance with your feet shoulder width apart. Your toes should be pointed inward slightly. This will help with your balance. Look at the pitcher with your head level. Very important. As a batter, we only have 4 balls and 3 strikes during each at-bat. However, each pitch is not created equal. They call that a pitch count. So the pitch count is not equal every single time, because 1 ball and 2 strike count is not the same as 2 balls and 1 strike count in regard to strategy when hitting. The pitcher has the advantage in the first count, while the batter has the advantage in the second count. So what does it all mean? You need to realize what hitting count that you're in. When do you hit defensively, and when do you zone in on a pitch? When is a pitcher most likely to go and throw a fat fastball for you so you can really zone in and drive it? Is there anyone on base? Maybe the bases are even loaded. That'll also influence the probability of a specific pitch that you're going to get. Zoning in is what you're looking for in trading as well. We call it odds-based trading. In baseball, it means that you want the count in your favor so you can be selective and zone in on a pitch and only swing when you get the perfect pitch in just the right spot, exactly what you're expecting, and then increase your chance of not only hitting a hit, but also an extra base hit. In trading, it means that on occasion, multiple indicators all line up together to further strengthen the possibility of the long or short trade that you're looking and considering. You can now zone in and possibly increase the position sizing, or at very least, if you're taking a smaller size trade, you can take a little more heat than normal if the trade goes against you, and knowing that you picked the correct strategy. In these special instances, it's when you really have the opportunity to get these special odd days that you go all the way to the bank. So look for them. Be selective because they're always there, but not necessarily every day. They're there more often than you think, though, so make sure you keep your eyes open for those when everything lines up and you can actually make those super days come out. All right, so batting average versus slugging percentage. I think most of you know what a batting average is, but for the layperson out there that really doesn't know, here's a textbook explanation. A batting average is where you take the total hits divided by the at-bats. You don't include the walks. This does not take into consideration what type of hit it is, single, double, triple, or home run. Now, on the other hand, slugging percentage is a much truer indication because it measures the power of the player. Total bases divided by the at-bats. Thus, if you take into consideration a double, that would be 2 bases. A triple would be 3, and a home run would be 4. And you factor all of that into the equation. That is much better. Many times, we can discuss our trades, and we think like this, right? I had 10 trades, and 4 were losers and 6 were winners. You say, well, I did pretty good. A 600 average is pretty good, right? However, it doesn't factor in the total amount of losses on each winner and the total amount of losses on each loser, so you might have actually lost money. What if you had 1 or 2 big losers in there, and there you go. Let's look at trading as a slugging percentage. Take the same 600 average, right? So what if we were trading and you learned to keep your losses so small that the 4 losses didn't damage your account that much and you were able to stay in the game, right? That's the goal, right? Now you take the 6 winners and 4 were average winners, say singles, and you had also a decent winner or so, maybe a double or triple. But you had that 1 home run, or even the occasional 2, 3, maybe even a 4-run homer we call a grand slam. Now, how do you get those larger winners? Remember when I covered pitch selection? You know when you load up on a trade at different share sizes and contract sizes depending on how many indicators that line up in your favor? Thus, you dramatically increase the chance of getting those big trades. But you have to put the indicators in your favor and get the count in your favor. So that's what we call your slugging percentage, how it relates to pitch selection. See the ball. Observe the market. Watch the pitcher. Does he release the ball from over his head, off to the side, underhand? The key is the ball is in his hand and the release point will be within fractions of an inch of each pitch. So if it always starts in the same place, how does it ever get over, right? Simple. It's variation in motion that it takes to get to the release point. But get over all that stuff. When you see where it starts, you can determine where it's going to end and your bat will follow your eye's instructions. Observe the actions of the market at different times, days, and even after hours. How does it react and at what key time? Or when specific news comes out, does it act differently? How about during a Fed meeting or when key earnings are coming out? How do some stocks or futures act in relationship to the other stocks or futures? Are they inverse or usually running in tandem with each other? How are sectors moving with regard to the money flow? If you pick specific areas that intrigue you, you can start to get a feel on how it moves. Most successful traders don't just jump in and buy something without observing it for a time first. One of the more successful traders I know, Jeff Smith, which is the head instructor over at DTI Trader, and he trades silver quite a bit, and he observed it for quite a long time to kind of get a feel for the market. So he's very, very good at silver and knows exactly how it moves. Perfect practice can make perfect. Baseball is primarily a game of skill, and therefore the best athlete doesn't always make the best ball player. This is especially true if you don't have the skills needed to be a complete ball player. Baseball is a game of pitching, catching, base running, throwing, and hitting. If you want to improve in all these areas, you must practice, practice, and practice. It can only particularly be helpful to practice very quickly going from one drill to another, right? But you must stay focused on getting the most out of every drill session. If you just go through the motions, you're surely developing bad habits. You have to focus on quality practice. Therefore, practice as much as you can while seeking quality training sessions. Plan your practice accordingly. Spend some time on each of the pieces, then more time putting it all together. Don't try to do both at the same time either. It's a sure recipe for frustration. So commit good habits to muscle memory. Do your conditioning first. Get those muscles nice and tired. And this is the moment you must make every effort to do motions correctly. If you're lazy about the particulars when you're getting tired, it'll come out in the game. You want to train yourself and your body to react quickly and correctly. Only perfect practice can make perfect, which is quoting Cal Ripken Sr. Trading is the same way in that you need to practice by using a simulated account, also known as a sim account or paper trade account. Learn keystroke entries, how to play stops, trading stops, option orders, straddles, iron condors, set targets, and so on. And you need to take the paper trades as if you were using real money, which is your training. If you fake it or you don't take it seriously, you risk training yourself to repeat bad habits when you use real money in your live trading.
What are you doing out here? I'm cruising, man.
I want you to throw the next one at the mascot.
I'm finally throwing it where I want to throw it.
Just throw it at the bull, huh? Trust me. He's the boss.
A staggering start by the loose. He's thrown 5 outs on 9 pitches, all of them strikes. He's got pinpoint control here tonight, Bull fans. Here's the pitch.
This guy's crazy.
Yep. I wouldn't dig in there if I was you. Next one might be at your head. I don't know where it's going to go. I swear to God.
Baseball has an art form called the stolen base. This is where a runner is on base and they take a lead off that base considering to maybe steal the next base, whether it's second, third, or even the most exciting play in baseball, which is stealing home. They measure their lead from the base. They calculate the pitcher's throwing pattern as well as their knowledge of the count that the batter's in. This will give a higher likelihood of a better pitch to steal on. They also consider the skill of the catcher in throwing quickly and on target. There's a lot of moving parts to stealing a base, but it's very exciting. Now equate that stealing a base to what's called searching for low-hanging fruit in your trading business. This is when you look at all the markets, searching for the easiest trade that'll pay you. There are some markets that just don't line up as strongly as others at certain times, and you may find another trade that's just perfect, and it's ripe and easy pickings for that profitable trade. The key is preparation and doing your homework. You then have a much higher chance of stealing that trade. Buying a great baseball glove should make your game that much better. You should purchase a glove that has top-notch materials because that should make it much more durable. Also, you'll need to see if that glove has the right fit for you because everyone's different. If you consider buying a less expensive glove, it really doesn't pay as your baseball game should take a hit from it. Something that you should look for is multiple models of maker's gloves and how much each one is going to cost you. Find out what glove which will give you the most benefit for your money. Come up with a few makes and models that you like and then go to your local baseball equipment shop and try on a few, making sure that the feel is just right, which is utmost importance. Do you need a catcher's glove, a first baseman's mitt, or a standard glove? We don't know, but consider all the options. Using the right trading equipment is crucial. What type of trading will you be doing? Will it be Forex, options, futures, day or swing trading, or maybe all of the above? Get yourself an adequate computer that can process trades and all the information that you may need. Get reliable internet access and maybe a backup as well. Do you need multiple screens instead of just one? Do you need 2, 4, or 8 screens? What trading platform are you using? Do you have an account that isn't for an IRA or one that allows futures, stocks, Forex trades, and so on? What about margin? There's a lot to consider. These are your equipment for trading. Take them seriously or it's going to cost you in the long run. If you're convinced you can hit the ball, then what's stopping you? Believe in yourself and let it happen. Be mindful of the count. When you're ahead, look for the good ones. When behind, smack it. If you leave it up to the umpire to see which way you're going to go, chances are you'll be walking back to the dugout. You have tons of time at batting cages in practice to make that perfect hit. You can do it. So what's stopping you from being a successful trader? Get in the game, get educated, and stay in long enough until you figure it out. Professionals in all walks of life that are making big money just don't decide one day to just do it and a month later they're on the top of their profession. They got educated and spent the time necessary to get good at what they do. Then the money came. Trading's the same way. Why should it be any different? We all want to make the big money really fast, right? Sometimes as soon as yesterday, right? Well, sometimes a few good winners when you get started is really the worst thing you can do, because it teaches bad habits and you think it's as easy as pie to do it over and over and over again just because you did it the first time. Now it leads you into bad habits, which gives you bad risk, and then you blow up your account. Take it all in stride. The market can humble even the most experienced traders, so put the time in that's needed to get good at your craft, and the money will certainly come. All right, let's put it all together. The most valuable advice that a baseball coach can give a young hitter is to think about hitting the ball up the middle. If you think about hitting the ball up the middle, you can adjust to hit the ball wherever it's pitched. If you go to the plate hoping to pull the ball, you'll struggle hitting the outside pitch. Your front side will have been opened up too soon, and you'll not be able to drive the pitch on the outside part of the plate. You'll probably just ground out. You have to have balance in everything that you're doing in baseball, especially in hitting. Your body is going to move, but you must keep your head still. The only way to do that is to have good balance. Balance in trading is keeping everything in perspective. Don't take on unnecessary risk, or it's going to take that much longer to be profitable, as you'll probably be digging yourself out of a hole all the time and possibly even blow up your account. Start by hitting the trade up the middle. Don't take on too much risk at any one time. Go for the low-hanging fruit and only trade when all the indicators are in your favor, thus increasing your chance of making a profitable trade. Thus, as we said before, odds-based trading. Concentrating at the plate and in trading is critical, and positive thinking surely helps too. The 3 trading choices. You should have a purpose to each swing in batting practice. In your first round of batting practice, you might concentrate on hitting every pitch to the opposite field. In the next round, try to make sure that you're swinging down on the ball. Prepare yourself for game situations, or the practice will not be as helpful as it could be if you find yourself in a slump. Try to concentrate on defense and possibly save the game with a good play. Slumping hitters should remind themselves that it doesn't always take a home run to help the team. Are you long, are you short, or are you out? You don't always have to put on a trade. Overtrading has killed many of a new trader, and the old traders too. Staying out of the market is a trade too, and sometimes the best trades you will ever take are the ones you never took. If you're in the trading slump right now, you can help yourself in many other areas, such as looking more closely at your losers to see what went wrong, or maybe just getting up and taking a walk. I love stats. Did you ever see those stats? Runs, RBIs, hits, doubles, triples, home runs, stolen bases, comparing errors, comparing players' duels like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. I mean, I can go on and on, right? How do you stack up against those twosomes and those twosomes and so on? Who had the highest batting average in maybe a 3 or 4 year stint? There's so many different stats to choose from. It's endless. Trading can be analysis paralysis too. There's so many chart styles: Fibonacci, stochastics, moving averages, MACDs, Bollinger Bands, RSI, candlesticks, and we could go on and on all day. Of course, everybody eats that stuff up, right? Be careful though, and don't overtrade and overload your screen with tons of indicators. Pick a method that you like to use and a few indicators that you'd like to go with. There are hundreds out there and more coming all the time. Now, I like the DTI Trader method because they keep it simple. Time of day, read the numbers, and work the 24-hour market. The 7 sisters, as Tom Busby, owner of DTI, says often, are the 7 different markets that you consider. The markets work in one large unit, just like you do when you're playing a game. You need to be aware of all the aspects of what makes up the market and a winning trade. So in closing, I recommend getting a mentor. The way to accelerate this process is to have quality trading through education with a company or individual that you respect and has more experience than you do. Or you can go out and just kind of wing it. Now, most people do that and they think they can do that, and they have much, much bigger problems than just money, okay? Now, I tried that when I first got started, and I went through quite a few different accounts, and it took me a while to realize that, and I'm speaking through experience. You have to learn the correct way to trade. This is like your baseball or a trading manager and a team of coaches that specialize in batting, pitching, fielding, bullpen, and so on. They're there to teach you how to hone your trading skills and properly execute your trades. Use trade selections and different types of trading and risk management. The instructor method would be maybe the same thing as learning all the aspects of trading through live classes, either by actually attending a class or an internet video feed. Now, another way, as I mentioned earlier, is a mentorship. A mentorship is different than, say, doing the instructor class method, in that the instructors don't necessarily give you trades. They're teaching you the system and the method. A mentorship is like a personal coach, but with a major distinction. A mentorship will even do the trades with you and guide you on what they're doing, the exact trades they're doing, and why. This is the fastest way to gain experience. You also have the added benefit of building your account value as you trade with them at the same time you're learning. It's like looking over their shoulder while they're trading and using their experience to guide you and it's to your advantage. It took me a while to learn this before I realized this, and I don't want that to happen to you as well. I figured I could learn it on my own, and I was brutally notified by the market that I needed to think of another way. I found my education system and mentorship in DTI and Tom Busby. Find yours. I hope this comparison has helped you with your trading. All the best to you. Have a great day. Bye, guys.